Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. Hey guys, I know that I've had a few people to ask about can you only use just the black and white images in Cricut Design Space for sand painting? And the answer is no. You can also use images that are in color, and I'm going to show you how to transform those colorful images so that you can use them for sand painting. So here we are inside of Cricut Design Space, and we're going to go over to our left side menu, and we're going to click on Images, and we're going to search for heart teddy bear. Now I've already searched for it, so I'm just going to click on it, and we're going to scroll down, and we're going to use one of these very colorful bears to do our sand painting. Now, if you bring a colorful image in like this and you go to make it, it's going to separate your image out into different matte colors based on the colors that are in the design. So you can't do that, but let me show you what you can do to get the results that you want. So we're going to go ahead and click on our bear. And on the right side here where we have our layers, for each layer that is not black, we're going to change it to white. So we're going to come down to where it says heart teddy bear, and we're going to change that to white. And we're going to come to the tan or brown layer, and we're going to change it to white. And we're going to come down to the red layer, and we're going to change it to white. Now we have a black and white image. It started out as colorful, and now we've changed it to just black and white. Now that we have our image in black and white, we're going to go ahead and select the entire image, and we're going to come down to the bottom right, right underneath background color, and we're going to click Attach. Now it's going to look like it's just a solid black layer, and it's going to look like it's just going to cut around this part only, but it's not, and I'm going to show you. So we're going to go ahead and change this to the size that we want. We're going to click on More. We're going to unlock our proportions, and we're going to type in for our width, we're going to type in 7.625. We're going to tab over, and our height is going to be 9.97. And then we're going to lock our proportions back. Now that we have the size that we want, we're going to go ahead and click on Make. And you can see that you have your design on one mat, and it's going to be where you can now use this for your sand painting. And your material size, we're going to go ahead and change this back to an A4, which is the size of our double-sided sticker sheet. And then I'm going to bring this down just a little bit so it's a little bit more like centered on my A4 sheet. And then all you have to do is go ahead and click on Continue. All right. Now it will take a minute for it to identify all of our cuts based on us changing the layers around, but just let it go. And then you're going to select your material. So we're going to click on Browse All Material, and we're going to type in washi, and we're going to select washi sheet, and done. All right, so we're going to leave it on the default pressure. We don't have any tools in clamp A. You'll have your 5-point blade loaded in clamp B. And then once you have your not washi sheet, but once you have your double-sided sticker sheet loaded onto your um, strong grip mat, then you're going to go ahead and insert your mat into your machine. So I'm going to get mine loaded, and then I'm going to get it cut out. So those two things I'm not going to show you because you can go back to my previous video and it'll show you, but I want to make this about just how you can take the colorful image, make it black and white, and still use it for your not your, I keep saying diamond painting, sand painting. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get mine loaded, and then we'll start our sand painting. All right, guys, so we now have our mat loaded on our strong grip. Our image is on our strong grip mat, and now we're going to go ahead and have Cricut to cut it out for us, and then I'll come back when it's done. All right, guys, so now that I have printed out or cut out my design, I'm going to go in and I'm going to remove all the areas that I want in black. So we're just going to use our little handy dandy weeding tool here, and we're going to pull up all the areas that we want only in black. And you always want to make sure, guys, that your yellow part that you don't want to paint yet, you want to make sure that stays flat. If it's not flat, what's going to happen is sand, another color sand, is going to get underneath there, and it's going to paint it a color that you don't want. So always make sure that whatever part that you're not painting, that part of the yellow is laying flat. All right. I just want to put that out there so that you don't mess up your sand painting. All right, so I'm removing all the areas that I now want in black, guys. Just the black parts. And I'm just trimming away some of that excess. So you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and finish removing the areas that I want in black, and then I'm going to come back when I'm ready to paint. All right, guys, so we have our bare outline completed. So every area that I want in black is exposed, and you can see the clear sticky part underneath it, and everything that I do not want colored is actually in the yellow double-sided sheet, okay, color. So we're now going to go ahead and paint to do the outline. Again, make sure every area, guys, that you do not want covered in black or whatever color you're painting at that time, you want to make sure that that yellow part is laying flat. If it is not laying flat, it's going to paint it whatever color you're using for sand at that time. So always make sure that that yellow part is sticking down. Now, if you do this design, make your bear just a tad bit smaller in width than I use, because you can see right here, I got it cut off right there. So change that width maybe by, I think I did, whatever I did, make yours one number off, okay? All right, so we're now gonna get to the fun part. And the fun part is putting down our sand, okay? So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to lay the black. I'm just going to put some black here. Now you can take and you can use a brush. You can use whatever you have to move that sand around, or you can just take your sheet and move it up and down. But the goal is just to get that black in all the areas where you want that outline of black. All right. Now I have a cheap brush here, so it might leave some brushes on my painting. I've seen that happen before, but it's not a deal breaker for me because this is just to show you guys how to do it. And then once you get all your areas that you want in black, I'm just moving that black down the sheet here. We're just going to take and we're going to pour this black right back into our container. All right. Just like that. Now we have our black outline. And I see a few brushes on there because those brushes, they kind of stick to our sheet. So I'm going to get those off, clean this up, and I'm going to come back for our next color. All right, next we're going to go in with our white color. And I'm going to be putting, I was going to use pink, but I'm going to put white. So I'm going to put white here. And I'm going to put white here. So now I'm just removing the double-sided sticker sheet from the areas that I want in white only. Okay. And this little part right here, we're going to do all of those in white. And this little part right here, we're going to do in white. All right, so now we're going to lay down our white sand. And I'm just going to pour it in the areas that I need it. And then I'm just going to pour it off. I'm not going to use my brush because, like I said, with the brush, if you brush an area that's sticky, it's going to pull at your brushes and include them into your painting. And you don't want that. All right, so now we painted that part white, as you can see. And now we're going to go in and we're going to do is bow red. All right, so we're going to grab our red and we're now going to do our little bow here in red. And we're going to do the hearts also in red. So we're going to remove the yellow from all of the areas that we now want in red. And I forgot to do the bottom of this feet, so I'm going to have to go back on the white here in just a second. All right, so now we're going to lay down our red. And the good thing is it looks like you're using a lot of sand, but you're not, because you're just going to put it right back into the container for the excess. All right. So I'm going to take that and put it right back into our container. And we're just going to brush off that excess. Got a little bit of the red on our white, but it's fine. It just adds a little extra pizzazz. All right, so we're now going to go back in and get this white part right here. We're going to do this part white as well. And then all we'll have left is just our brown color or our brown layer. So everything is done now, but our brown, I'm going to use the brush in this instance just to kind of clean it up a bit. Alrighty. So now we're going to go in and we're going to remove all of the rest of the bits to make them brown, to make our beer brown, or whatever color. You don't have to use the colors that I'm using, guys. So I'll say a color, but you can do the complete opposite. And when I'm using my Cricut tool, guys, I'm not digging into, I'm just trying to grab that top yellow coat up, because you don't want to scratch the sticky part. because then it won't color. Okay, so I'm coming upward and not going downward. As I'm peeling up the yellow, I'm peeling it up so that I don't mess up the coating. All right, so now we're going to go in with my brown that I made using some sand and some alcohol ink. We're going to now go in with the brown. And I'm just going to get that on there nicely. All righty. And then we're just going to take and shake off that excess and we're done. I'm not going to do the background right now, but you can continue on with removing the background and making it whatever color you want to make it. I don't know what color I want to make my background just yet. So I'm just going to leave it yellow for now. All right. And there we have where we took an image that was actually multicolored in Cricut Design Space. We changed the colored layers to white, left the black layers black, and then we went in and we attached it to allow it to print or cut on one mat instead of multiple mats based on color. And then we colored it whatever color we choose with our sand. All right. So hopefully that, guys, help you, that you don't have to use just black and white images inside of Cricut Design Space. If you see a colored image, you just change the colored images to white and make sure you only end up with just black and white colors. And then you color it to whatever color you want to after you attach it. All right. All right, guys, that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you guys have any questions, chime in the comments. I will do my best to answer them and help you out as best I can. Remember, I'm still new to this sand painting, but I'm willing to share what I know and what I've learned so far. All right, but stay tuned because I've learned a lot. I've taught myself a lot, y'all, and I'm going to share it with you. All right, so that you don't have to just watch other people. You can be the other person. All right, guys, that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. You guys know my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys, happy sand painting. Have a great day. Bye.